once you transition to the especially child, that's your childhood, and yet that is probably not your name anymore, that's not how you identify anymore, that isn't a true version of yourself, or however each individual frames it. And being aware of that as a common, although obviously not all-encompassing, theme within the trans experience, I wonder about writing a memoir where you have to so bring the little kid out that you were and show her, however you framed, right, depending on, to the whole world, like you're saying, it belongs to the world now, and I just wonder what that's been like for you to grapple with, and your relationship with that little kiddo that now we all get to read about.
I think the little kid, we are the same. Like I'm going retro. Like I'm going back. I'm like vintage, you know. Like I'm going back to that original iteration of myself. Is basically what I've spent the other 46 years doing. You know what I mean? So in some ways, that's how I see the process happening. It's really like finding my way back to that kid, like who that kid was. Or like opening space for that child to like, you know, to run amok and sort of rage and be wild. I think the other part of your question that you touch on with past, I think I have a very unique gift in that it took me so long to figure shit out because I'm a slow learner and like, you know, I just move like the turtle. I'm like, what's happening here? You know, like one leg. You know, so I think it took me so long that I have just a huge, immense appreciation for every part of my life. You know, like at some point my mom asked me if I wanted her to take down the photos, and and this is my feeling as a trans person, I know that not everybody relates to this, but for me, wholeness is key. So I am not in the business of, all those parts are there, and I still, you know, I was socialized as a woman for 40 years, so I'm still that dude that's a little weird at the gym, you know, it's like, why don't you know how to side hug and like whatever, you know what I mean? So like, the side hug, I mean, seriously, like what is that about? I don't know how to do it. I'm like, it's like first the hand and then the side hug, and I'm Colombian too, so I go in for the kiss, I'm like, that's the right? But I mean, I think that if wholeness, my experience of this is that again, when we cut things out of ourselves, that is born out of shame. And this is not to shame any trans person who feels differently about their photographs or their dead name or whatever. But for me, it doesn't work to try to kick her out. She's alive and well, and she is thriving, and I didn't want to, my intention was never to leave her or divorce her, or like leave her high and dry. I just wanted her to be able to have full expression. I wanted her to be able to explore her masculine side. I wanted her to be able to, you know, like, I wanted all of it. I wanted the whole caboodle. You know, and so that's what I went for. So I will never, you know, like that's just not, you know, like I love every part of what has brought me here, even when it's painful. I acknowledge the worth in that, you know. But I know it's not the same for everybody, and I also, you know, I have to say that I'm a little more mature than some of the, you know, in terms of, not because I'm so mature, but like, you know, I'm a little older, so I just have the benefit of time behind me, and being able to appreciate things with a little bit more perspective. And so perhaps it means something different to me to transition at my age than it does to someone who's 12 or someone who's, you know, 15 or 25.